In last night's debate, they get to a discussion about Muslims and whether they should be targeted, right, in doing checks at the airports, etc. Well, we're going to start with Rick Santorum, and he gives a unfortunately honest answer.
Under certain circumstances in the past, you've supported profiling. Is that correct?
I have.
What do you have in mind?
Well, I mean, I think TSA is a good example of that. We should be trying to find the bomber, not the bomb. Other countries have done it. Israel is probably the best example of that.
So just to be precise, is it ethnic profiling, religious profiling? Who would be profiled?
Well, the folks who are most likely to be committing these crimes. If you look at, I mean, obviously it was people. Obviously, Muslims would be someone you'd look at. Absolutely, those are the folks who are the radical Muslims, are the people that are committing these crimes.
All right, so let me get that right. Muslims are the ones you got to look at because they're the ones committing most of the crimes. Except, here's an inconvenient fact. The Southern Poverty Law Center and many other groups that track these crimes and hate crimes in general, as well as what are considered terrorist attacks, etc., all come to the same conclusion, which is that right-wing extremists commit more acts of terrorism inside the United States and more acts of violence than Muslims do. So I guess according to Rick Santorum's logic, we should be checking all right-wingers. Shockingly enough, they did not say that in the debate. They said, no, we should only target the Muslims. Funny how that happens. I wonder if it has to do with bigotry and discrimination rather than actual threats to the country. Well, when you talk about discrimination against Muslims, Herman Cain says, I jump in it. Watch.
I believe we can do a whole lot better with TSA, and I call it targeted identification.
What does that mean?
We can do targeted identification. If you take a look at the people who have tried to kill us, it would be easy to figure out exactly what that identification profile looks like. The terrorists have one objective that some people don't seem to get. They want to kill all of us. So we should use every means possible to kill them first or identify them first.
But just to be precise, Mr. Cain, I'll give you a chance. Is it okay for Muslim Americans to get more intensive pat-downs or security when they go through airports than Christian Americans or Jewish Americans?
No, Blitz, that's oversimplifying it.
Look, I actually think Wolf Blitzer did a very good job there. When he said targeted identification, he said, what do you mean by targeted identification? And of course, Cain pulled a Bush. By sovereignty, I mean sovereignty. I mean targeted identification. And then when Blitzer came back and said, so would you target Muslims? He's like, that's an oversimplification. Except that's exactly what I said before, right? It's not an oversimplification at all. That's what he would do. You just heard him say it. By the way, did you also hear what he called Wolf Blitzer? He's like, hey, Blitz. Is that also a Bush-like nickname, or he just doesn't know his name? Blitz? That's fun. Okay, I don't know if his wife calls him that. I don't know if anybody calls him that. So, and then I like what he said. Look, these guys are trying to kill us, so we're going to kill all of them first, and then we're going to identify them first. Wait, I hope you identify them before you kill them. Right? You got to get the order right. And look, that's the whole point. If you've got a terrorist and there's no way to capture him and you kill him, everybody's on board. You got a terrorist, you capture him, you bring him to trial, everybody's on board. The question is, who are the terrorists? And you're saying, well, I'm going to do target identification against all Muslims. Well, that's terribly un-American. And also inaccurate, because it turns out, as we've told you before, most of the violent acts in this country committed by right-wing extremists. Not all the violent acts, but terrorist acts like, for example, when the guy went in and shot people at the Holocaust Museum, when the guy went to do shooting at the Tide Center and wound up shooting the cops, etc. The list goes on, the abortion bombings, etc. Those kind of acts, the majority are by right-wing extremists, not by Muslim extremists. Of course, that never gets mentioned in the Republican debates.